How's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man, and I'm here with the Isekai Man.
Welcome to the Isekai Zone.
With the Isekai Zone. We are deep in the Isekai Zone
With the Isekai Zone today. Hey guys, it's Gigguk. Good to be here.
Well, there's a reason why I invited you here today, because this is 2020 and tier maker is still apparently a thing.
Yeah.
So
it's always going to be a thing.
It's always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to be doing the ultimate Isekai anime tier list.
Let's do this.
And what better than to get a second opinion of a man who's probably a lot more knowledgeable on the whole Isekai aspect of things, because like for me it's like Isekai as well for me is like a love-hate relationship, but more leaning towards hate.
No, because I was like, if you do this by yourself, everything's just going to be F tier, and there's just going to be like one or two S tier ones.
No, that's not true. Well, we're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
So I've taken 30 Isekai shows that I think best represents the genre, at least, you know, the overall like history of the entire genre.
Yeah.
And we're basically just going to give our thoughts on it.
Okay.
And place it on a tier list. Now, mind you, we have two professionals here, so this is the ultimate Isekai tier list. We don't care what anyone says. This is objectively correct.
This is law. Whatever we say now is what the law is in terms of Isekai.
So we don't care if it's your favorite, your least favorite. This is what it is from now on. Alright, so let's get started, I guess. I think that is Arifureta.
Oh boy.
Now, personally, I only saw one episode of it.
Okay.
And just from that,
yeah.
it's
okay.
in the second half.
So like, how are we rating this, or how are we judging this? Because are we judging this via Isekai standards, or are we judging this via, hey, this is a normal anime standards?
Well, I mean, I think it's good to like judge it kind of a little bit on both, right?
Okay.
So it's like it's getting points for like how good is it as an isekai, and also just how good is it as a show overall.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of like, you know, take the two together and average it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Arifureta for me is like as a show overall, it's fucking trash.
If you were to come to me and say like, you know what, Arifureta was like pretty decent, I would have like, oh man, this video would have been hard to go through.
Like, anime adaptation aside, because I've heard it's like had a shitty anime adaptation.
Right.
But I did read the manga for it.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, Arifureta for me fits into that kind of guilty pleasure kind of show. Because it's something that, if you enjoy Isekai, and if you look for it for the trashy power fantasy stuff, it's like really edgy, but it's like the good kind of edgy. Personally, probably if it was just the first arc, I'd put it D tier.
D tier.
Overall, I'd put it like between D and E. So like if it was the second arc, I haven't even like, I've read the manga, so any manga readers who wants to come to me and be like, oh, it's pretty good, it's better than manga. No, it's exactly the same. It doesn't have bad CGI.
If you read the manga, it's at least a C tier. Okay, well then we'll probably place it in like a safe E tier.
Okay.
We'll put that as like the benchmark for the rest of these shows.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is not conventionally known as an isekai, but technically an isekai.
Yep.
Boy and the Beast.
I haven't actually seen The Boy and the Beast.
Oh, really?
It's the only Mamoru Hosoda film I haven't seen, actually.
Okay. When you think of an isekai, this isn't a movie you think of.
Oh, no.
Right? Like, you don't think, like, isekais can't make its movie status. No way.
Yeah.
But it does. And, like, ages ago, I made, like, a worst to best Mamoru Hosoda movies.
Okay.
And, in that list, I put Boy and the Beast as worst.
Right.
But that was because I was comparing it to, like, everything else Mamoru Hosoda did.
Yeah.
If I just compared this as just, like, a standalone movie, it's pretty good. Though.
Yeah, the reason I haven't gone around to watching it is because I have heard that it is not his best movie, so there's just not been that push for me to go out and watch it.
But Boy and the Beast is interesting because it's like a double isekai. So, like, the boy goes to the beast world, and the beast does come to the boy world, and it's, like, everything around that. So, in terms of, like, how it is an isekai, I think it's pretty good. So I'd probably put in like a B tier maybe.
Okay.
Again, like
Sounds
not
fair.
Amazing, but pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty decent. Okay, next up, Devil is a Part-Timer.
Devil is a part-timer. Now we get into my shit.
Because you made a whole video on it.
Yeah. I recently rewatched Devil is a Part-Timer, so I was like, was Devil is a Part-Timer as good as I remembered it, or was it just like me looking at it through nostalgia goggles?
Right.
I know, after rewatching it, it is as good as I remember it.
Okay.
For isekai standards, it's like top tier. Like, for isekai standards, it's like, it's different because it's like a reverse isekai, and it's funny because it seems more relevant in today's standards than it than when it originally came out, because it came out when isekai was just starting to become a thing, right? So when this came out, nobody even knew of the word isekai. No one really called it an isekai.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean? But it feels more relevant today because it feels like a parody of isekai, and it does a better job parodying isekai than most parodies of modern isekai that comes out nowadays, because it's just a genuinely funny show.
Yeah. No, I watched it once. Like I watched it while it was airing back in the day, and I really enjoyed it. I wish there were more episodes of it. And I read the first volume of the light novel too, just because I was curious to see like how it compared to the light novel. And like the light novel is also really good.
So I mean, I would personally put it maybe A tier.
A? Yeah, I would put it in A tier.
Yeah, because you know I can think of maybe better isekai than that, but it's definitely like top
It's
tier.
up there.
It's definitely up
It's
there.
definitely up there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next up is MILF Isekai.
MILF isekai.
MILF Isekai.
Oh boy!
Did you finish it?
I didn't finish this.
Yeah, I didn't finish it either.
How many episodes did you watch?
Like 4 or 5, maybe. I
Right.
got like halfway through.
Actually, watched more than me.
Really?
Like, I honestly, I enjoyed this less than Arifureta.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, like I don't know. I was like obviously struck in originally because of just the ridiculous concept.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this could probably work. And also, it was just like a nice change up because it was at the point as well where like I was getting sick of all the Emoto shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, finally, something different.
A MILF.
A MILF.
You know?
An older female.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So I watched it and like, as an isekai, it's like, it's basically just your fucking standard isekai. It's like, oh no, mom accidentally goes to the other world with the gamer son.
Yeah.
But mom is OP as shit.
I know,
That's the
right?
whole premise of the show.
I mean, personally, I had much higher hopes for it because, you know, it was something that was different, as you said, but it just tried way too hard to be funny, and that was my issue with it. Like, there was a scene in the second episode which really put me off. It was the scene where they were, like, taking, like, a bath or something, and then the tsundere stands up, and they have, like, a whole conversation about, like, I bet you're about to hit me now, and she's like, I bet... Wouldn't it be funny if I don't hit you? Ha ha ha! I'm not gonna hit you, and he's like, "Oh wow, this is really funny. You're not hitting me," and then she runs off, and that was the joke. And I'm like, "What? This isn't comedy. This isn't even parody. You're just literally like."
They basically just explain the joke.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Joke. I just got really thrown off with like the whole over sexualization of the mom.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can't like. How am I okay when it's a fucking blood-related sister? But then when it's suddenly a blood-related mom, I'm just like,
I don't know about this. Yeah.
Alright, so where are we putting it? I'm thinking maybe like a D or an E.
Speaking personally, I enjoyed it a lot less because I didn't find any enjoyment in it. Looking at it from as like a reviewing standpoint, I can't really tell the difference between Arifureta and the MILF Isekai.
Okay, we'll check this in an E then.
Alright.
We'll check this in an E.
Alright.
Alright, next up, Drifters.
Drifters.
Did you watch Drifters?
Yeah, I watched Drifters. That was just a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. I mean, that's what you get from the people who made Hellsing.
Hellsing, yeah.
You know, like, it's basically just a modern isekai Hellsing.
Yeah,
essentially.
exactly, right?
Yeah, and like the art and animation, voice acting was all fucking awesome, and like
Yeah.
the whole like subplot of like Hitler was just like amazing to me. I'm just like,
right?
wow, they're not even like changing his name or like changing his
I know.
It's straight up Hitler.
It's just Hitler.
It's just
you know what I
straight
mean?
up Hitler. Again, like, I feel Drifters is like another show that you don't think of when you think isekai.
No,
But
exactly.
technically speaking, it is an isekai.
I would say for me, because I judge Drifters as just a really solid action show. It's not like the best show in the world, but it is really solid and I can easily recommend it.
Yeah.
So like for me personally, I would put it like A or B tier.
Yeah, I would put it as an A or B tier. I enjoyed it much more than I did Boy and the Beast, so
Right.
I'd probably throw it up in an A tier.
Okay.
Next up is Throwback Fushigi Yuugi.
Fushigi Yuugi, holy shit.
That's a throwback.
I haven't seen this in like forever.
Yeah. And again, this is like another show where I'm just like, oh yeah, this is technically an isekai.
Yeah, it's like there was actually quite a lot of isekai back in the 90s. It was just very different. One of the biggest difference I've noticed is that most isekai in the 90s focus on people trying to get back to the world that they came from,
Yeah.
and now isekai is just like, I want to stay in this world.
This world is way better.
Why the fuck would I want to stay in my real world? I'm happy here.
I feel like that's what made, I guess, like the whole like element of Isekai in the 90s so much more enjoyable, more like an adventure, because you could clearly see, okay, there is an end goal. It's not like, how long can I stay here for indefinite amount of time? It was like, I have a time limit to get back, otherwise bad shit's gonna happen. Like another Isekai, which I didn't actually put on this list, because I thought it'd be a little too similar to Fushigi Yuugi, was Escaflowne. I would say like Fushigi Yuugi and Escaflowne are kind of like, in this list, probably
very similar.
Yeah. I guess the whole fact that people who watched Fushigi Yuugi back in the day are still pretty hype on Fushigi Yuugi. Would suggest that it's a good show. I mean, again, I haven't seen it in so long.
And here's like my issue that could possibly, like, I would have to rewatch it, because I rewatched a bit of like Escaflowne a while ago, and it has not aged well.
Really?
Like the problem with Escaflowne is that a lot of the tropes when it came out were like really new, and now it's just way more generic than when it first came out. And I haven't seen Fushigi Yuugi in like ages.
So I would assume then, if it happened in Escaflowne, it's probably the same in Fushigi.
So like, I would be hesitant to put this too high, just because I am not sure. So
but it's definitely
solid. It's definitely solid. So I'd put it like B tier. Maybe.
I think B tier is fair. Yeah. If you are sick of modern Isekai, go back and watch Fushigi Yuugi. It's great. Okay, next up, Gate. Again, I've only saw this once while it was airing, so there's a lot I don't remember. All I remember is that, like, my waifu was like a 900-year-old grandma.
Of course it was. Of course it was. Rudy was best girl, though. Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed, like, the whole military aspect of the show.
Yeah. I actually think Gate is a really underrated isekai, because everyone's forgotten Gate. I really liked how unique it was. They were overpowered because they had advanced technology. You know what I mean? It wasn't this, like, bullshit kind of thing where, hey, you've been given a bullshit power. No, it's literally just...
It's earned.
It's literally just the Japanese military being OP because we are hundreds of years ahead in terms of technology.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I would put this at like a solid C tier.
C tier? Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, next up, Grimgar Fantasy and Ash. Can I just say something?
Yeah,
I fucking hated it. And I get so much shit for it when I say that. I've said that at panels, and I've said that in videos, and people are like, how could you hate Grimgar? It was amazing. I'm like, it was just like a glorified, like, fucking AMV. That's how I labeled it.
Right. Like, I watched Grimgar, and, you know, speaking from a critical point of view, I can really admire what they tried to do with Grimgar, because it was basically like taking the glorified isekai world and really putting a much more realistic spin on it.
Right.
Without, you know, going full Goblin Slayer or something like that. Yeah. So I could really see why people liked it. Speaking personally, I found more enjoyment in Arifureta.
That's saying something.
Because the thing about Grimgar is that I could see why people like it. I just found it boring.
Yeah, it was boring. And did you watch it till the end?
I got up to like episode 8 or something.
Okay, because the last episode, how it ends, is the most like shoehorn bullshit ending I've ever seen. And I'm just like, you did not make me just sit through 12 episodes. It's like, no fucking way.
Like, we're gonna get so much hate for this.
Oh yeah, of course. It was really pretty animation, and the character design's really pretty.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people fell in love with the show. Okay, so what are we thinking? Should we... Are we gonna do it?
Let's just fucking do it. Come on. I want the soul.
It's F tier. I'm sorry. Grimgar is officially worse than Arifureta.
As a critic, I'm like, man, this is like C, B tier. Personally, I'm like, man, this was a fucking snooze fest, man.
Alright, next up, Dot Hack.
The original
the
SAO.
OG Isekai. I enjoyed it. As like just one fantasy show.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite enjoyable. The art style, though, I wouldn't say hasn't aged all that greatly. It's obviously very 90s.
Yeah.
But then again, a lot of 90s shows haven't really aged in terms of like its visuals. But
yeah, the biggest thing they had going for it when I first watched it was I thought it had a really unique premise. And I don't know how much that would fly in this day.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, people being stuck in a video game, that's an original idea.
Yeah. No way will that get copied 40 times.
I know, right? I'd say this is like mid-tier for me.
Yeah.
Because it was like very boring and it was like camping simulator. But like sometimes.
It's like SAO and Eurocamp.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Personally, I put it like C or D tier.
Yeah, I would probably put it in a C tier. I'm gonna bump it up to C tier just because of the legacy it's left on the Isekai genre. Because again, this is a show that literally every Isekai has copied off of in some way or another.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next up, How to Not Summon a Demon Lord. Again, this is the one that I watched one episode of. Yeah, and I was like, I'm full. I'm done. That was a whole meal for me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't enjoy this.
No, I didn't.
I didn't enjoy this.
I really did.
People did, and I don't see why.
You know, when I was like researching like which isekais to put on this tier list, I obviously had to look up like, you know, top 25 isekais, top 30 isekais.
Yeah.
For some reason, this show is always on that list.
It was kind of similar to the MILF one, where my problem was that people apparently enjoyed it because they were like, this is nice, this is funny, you know, people find it funny, and I'm just like,
it's really hard to like mix, I feel, isekai with comedy, like good comedy. Yeah. Because like you're already bound yourself to the setting of isekai. Yeah. There's only so many jokes you can make.
Exactly. And I feel like there has to be a good balance where you're not just parodying isekai, like we just talked with Devil is a Part-Timer. You have to be legitimately funny. Like if someone had never seen an isekai, they should still enjoy your show.
So what are we thinking? Should we?
Yeah, that's F tier.
Yeah. Sorry. Speaking of F tier, in another world with my smartphone.
Boy!
I don't know, I'm just gonna straight up say, I think this show was shit.
Yeah, it was. I really don't have. Okay, the only thing that's like stopping me from putting it F tier is that I can think of a worse isekai than Smartphone that also has a smartphone in it.
Right.
Because I don't know if it's on this list, but
probably not.
Yeah, the Blesser of Ironjar, or whatever, Master of Ragnarok, Blesser of Ironjar, is another isekai that also has the gimmick of like having the main character having a smartphone, and that's even worse than this one. So if that's not on this list, this would probably still have to be F tier.
F tier? Yeah, alright, we're dropping this in an F tier.
Right.
Okay, here's another one, classic, that not many people think of as an isekai. Inuyasha.
Inuyasha.
This is like another one where it's, you know, typical 90s thing where it's like, it's the idea of isekai wasn't just like a one-way route. It was like a two-way route.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it, Inuyasha.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Not my favorite Takashi Dumiko story out there. I'd still have to give that to Rama Half.
I mean, I enjoyed it as a kid. Probably could never watch it in this as the anime fan I am now.
Yeah. Every time I hear Inuyasha's voice, I just think of really cringy memories.
Yeah, because I remember even as a kid, when you were a kid and your patience was just like up there. You could watch like 100 episodes of nothing happening.
Yeah.
And
you mean Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. And even as a kid, I remember watching Inuyasha, and I'm just like, when are they gonna get the bad guy? When are they gonna stop chasing him? And then the series ended, and it ended on them still chasing the bad guy, and I'm just like...
It's like, I don't know, my only memory of Inuyasha is Sesshomaru running away.
Yeah, exactly.
They never, like, attack him.
I know.
He's always, like, running off somewhere.
I know.
And Inuyasha's like, come back, though, we need to fight! I feel this show, as much as I don't like to say it, I feel is, like, heavily dependent on nostalgia goggles.
Yeah, I do agree with that as well.
So I'm thinking maybe, like, a C or even a D tier.
Ooh, I'd personally put it at D tier.
D tier?
Yeah.
Alright, the first D tier is going to Inuyasha. Look, it's a great show. We all grew up watching it, but...
I can't wait for the salt for this video. People are like, wait, you put Gate above Inuyasha? What is wrong with you?
Oh my god. I'm gonna die, dude. Alright, up next is, fuck, what is that? Hold on.
Isekai Magician. Cheat
Isekai Cheat Magician.
Isekai Cheat Magician.
Now, I never watched this one, but I saw this again in a lot of, like, the lists of, like, the top isekai, so I'm like, it has to be good, right?
Can I just say, it is called Isekai Cheat Magician, okay? This was a show that was made by Google Trends. Like, even the title is just like, what are the most top trending words in Isekai? Cheat, magician, Isekai. It is the most generic show I've ever seen.
Really?
There is nothing about this show that stands out at all. This is like the power fantasy trash that I should like, but it's so generic that I had to drop it. It is, for me, an easy F tier.
F tier? Alright, going into the F tier. Alright, up next, Isekai Quartet.
I really enjoyed this.
I know you really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed this.
I watched halfway through season 1, and I didn't so much drop it. I just like didn't find the time to watch the rest. But the few episodes I watched, I was like, okay, this is charming. This is cute. I like this.
It's probably like the isekai for isekai lovers.
Oh yeah.
Because
the thing is, if you don't like all of the isekais of like the characters that appear in this show, you're probably gonna find some part of it that you don't like.
Like it was just really nice seeing the interactions, and I thought they got the character writing down to a T. Like the reason I really liked it was at times it just felt like a KonoSuba episode with just a different cast, with more cast members involved. So I'm like, man, I'm all for this. Like seeing Kazuma and Subaru just like bantering about how they were transported to another world and like how Kazuma thinks Subaru has a harem was like fucking hilarious to me. So like for me personally, I would put it as A tier.
A tier.
But that's my personal enjoyment.
Okay. I'm gonna put A tier because just to be kind to the people with all the F tiers.
Alright.
Okay, up next. Oh, your favorite, Kenja no Mago.
Kenja no Mago. This is...
You would not shut the fuck up about this isekai. And I'm like, why? Of all the shows.
I know.
What is it about it? Because I watched like 3 episodes and I dropped it.
It's so bad, but it's so fucking good. Okay, out of everything in the list, this is by far my guilty pleasure, right?
Right.
Unlike Arifureta, there is like very little about Kenja no Mago that stands out.
Yeah.
But the thing I really latched on to it was that how it kind of like combines magic and science in like the most basic way.
So this is like an isekai Dr. Stone for plebs.
Yeah, but it's I wouldn't even give it
at like the most rudimentary level.
I wouldn't even give it that much credit.
Okay, so what are we thinking then?
S tier.
It's a special S tier. It's a guilty pleasure.
No, I wouldn't even put I can't do that. I mean, for me, I would put it D tier.
D.
Even though I don't think it deserves that much, but I would put it at a solid D.
Okay, we'll put it at a D. We'll put it at a D. Just because
Joey's like dying inside now. He's just like, oh no.
Okay, up next, KonoSuba. I personally would put this as an S tier.
Yeah, I was like, this is an easy S tier for me. There's not really much. Like, it's a really good show.
It's KonoSuba. It's fucking awesome.
It's people who enjoy Isekai will enjoy it. People who don't enjoy Isekai will enjoy it. Well,
it's basically just Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Isekai,
exactly.
Basically.
Yeah.
Because I recently as well watched the movie, the KonoSuba movie, and I've never laughed more watching an anime film than the KonoSuba movie.
Right.
And like just the animation is fucking great. You can tell how much fun the voice actors were having doing this show.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it. The voice acting is just great because they bounce off each other so well.
Yeah, it's so natural. Easy S tier.
Yeah.
Alright, up next, Log Horizon.
Log Horizon
first of all, Season 3 hype.
Yes!
Yeet, finally!
Like, Log Horizon, I feel, is a very... I don't know, is it underrated? Because I feel a lot of people don't talk too much about Log Horizon.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Log Horizon was first announced, and the gargantuan number of people who are like, oh, cool, another SAO clone.
I made that joke as well. And I regret it.
We all did.
I do actually regret it.
Yeah, no, we all did. And then we actually watched it and we were like, oh, wow, this is completely different.
Yeah, like, it's actually one of my favorite isekai,
I think as well. Like, if we're not counting, like, KonoSuba, because I count that more as an isekai parody, just like a straight-up isekai, I'd say Log Horizon's my favorite.
If we're just taking Season 1, I would easily put it S tier. Season 2 for me was, a bit up and down.
Season 2 definitely slowed down a little bit.
What I loved about it was it came from someone who actually understood game design and like how to break a game. Shiro was OP because he found these really unique ways or loopholes in how the game system worked to make it OP. And
that's the thing, it's like he understood the mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, I can use this as a loophole to be really OP. Whereas any other isekai would be like, pay to win.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think it would have to go S tier.
I think it's an S tier, yeah.
Now that I've talked about it, I'm like, yeah man, Lock Horizon was good as fuck, man.
Fucking awesome. Okay, up next, Problem Children. Did you watch this one?
I have not watched this one.
Okay, I thought I added this in here because I think, again, like, if we're talking about underrated isekais, I'd have to put this in. You know, par for the formula, like, it doesn't do anything new. It's just your generic, like, here come some people, they fight, you know, isekai, yay, power fantasy. But what I really liked was just, like, I think out of any isekai I've seen, this has some of the fucking most awesome action choreography I've ever seen.
Okay.
And it really got robbed because this shit only got 10 episodes.
Ah.
And I was like, and it really ended off in like a really crappy way. But like, you say like Kenja no Mago was your like isekai guilty pleasure. I'd put Mondaiji as my isekai guilty pleasure. Okay. You know, to be fair, I'll put this in a D tier.
All right, next to Kenja no Mago.
Next to Kenja no Mago. Okay, up next, No Game No Life.
Okay. Are you ready for the soul?
I mean, I thought it was okay.
I think No Game No Life is like heavily overrated.
Really?
Yeah. In terms of like everyone who I've talked to who likes isekai, or just most people were like, oh yeah, No Game No Life, easy S tier. I'm like, no, it's not.
No. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't put it as an S tier though.
No.
Because I definitely found some problems with it.
Yeah, because it was really hype when it came out, and I remember first watching it, and then I rewatched it, and then I just didn't enjoy it as much at all because you know it is a standard isekai in terms of like it's how it progresses and everything. I think the world is very interesting. You know, it is just entertaining, but I don't think there's anything more than that.
I think No Game No Life isn't as smart as I think it is.
If we compare this to something like Kaiji or something like that, something about a character taking a game and kind of like breaking that game, you know, I think something like Kaiji is much more compelling than No Game No Life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that No Game No Life is just an entertaining show.
Yeah,
and
I also think definitely a lot of people when watching it prior were definitely blinded by like its very flashy like aesthetic.
Yeah,
it's like, ooh, this is super pretty.
Yeah. I say it's overrated, but it's still like entertaining.
Yeah,
which is why I don't know.
It's a good show.
I don't know if I can put it A tier. I put it like B tier.
Yeah, okay, we can put it in B tier. Let's do that. Okay, here's one going after your heartstrings. Now and There, Here and Now.
S tier, man. It's like
it is pretty fucking good.
It's really fucking good for an isekai, and it's
really good.
But it's depressing as fuck.
Yeah. It is by far the most like depressing, just nihilistic isekai out there. But I don't know, man. I'm a nihilistic and depressing dude. And I love that shit.
I mean, if we're talking about, you know, 90s isekai, I think this was the best 90s isekai.
I would agree,
in terms of being transported to a world that was horrible as fuck, and you were cheering for them to find a way home because holy shit, this world was horrible. To me, this is as good as 90s isekai got.
I think so. I'd put this in an S tier.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do that. Boom. Alright, up next, what is that? Outbreak Company, I think.
I haven't actually seen this one.
The basic premise of Outbreak Company, from what I remember, because it's been fucking forever since I've watched this, but basically, otaku man goes to another world, and it's like an otaku world, so it's got like maids and elves and you know, standard shit.
Yeah.
But he goes to teach this isekai world that has all of his like otaku fantasies in it about otaku culture.
Okay.
So he's like, oh yeah, you're an elf in my world, and he like opens up like a light novel that has like all about elves and shit, and it's like, in my world elves do this and elves do this, and they're like, oh okay, I'll do those overly sexual things to you. And it's essentially a fourth wall breaking comedy.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to the actual comedy elements, in my opinion, I kind of felt like it's how you felt about the MILF Isekai, where it's just like it's like too like self-explanatory.
The jokes are them explaining the joke. And
exactly.
There's no actual joke.
Exactly.
There.
like after you see like the guy making the elf maid girl do a sexual thing for like the 10th time, it's like okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Right, like there's hentai for that. I'll just watch that. So I'm probably gonna put this at maybe like a I'll probably put it with the MILF Isekai.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about the same caliber. Okay, up next, Overlord.
Overlord.
Have you caught up to Overlord?
Yeah, I have. I've watched all of season 3.
Because I haven't seen season 3 yet.
Okay.
I've seen 1 and 2. But
season 3 is probably the weakest season, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think that's more to do with the adaptation itself and less to do with what happens.
Right.
But if we're talking purely the anime, I think the first season is the best.
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely.
it hasn't reached that same heights to me.
I don't know if it's the first isekai series to do it, but it took an antagonist as the protagonist.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the first one, but it's definitely the most like notable one when it comes to modern isekais.
Yeah.
Just because Momonga, I think his name was.
Yeah.
It's just such like a very notable character even in the show.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't really know where to place this one because I did enjoy it. I just feel like it needs it. It's had 3 seasons, and I still think it's had nowhere near enough time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they spent half a season on fucking lizard sex. You know? But, like, that's what I mean, where it takes so much time in, like, world building, and I feel like it's building up to something that's gonna be really cool and good.
Yeah,
but
hopefully.
But it hasn't gotten nearly to that point.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe B.
I'm thinking A or B.
I'm gonna put it in B just because I think there's a lot more room for improvement when it comes to the story.
I mean, in terms of entertainment, I'd say I had the same amount of enjoyment as No Game Alive.
Yeah,
so I think that's
okay. That's fair.
Good.
All right, next up, Recreators. What did you think?
This is like S tier for me, man.
Really?
This is S tier. This is like, but I can understand why people wouldn't be.
I'm a little reluctant to put it in S tier. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was super cool premise, just really well presented.
Yeah.
And like I liked all the characters, but I don't know, something was missing for me.
Have you ever just watched an anime and you've been like, man, did they make this anime just for me? That was Recreators for me, man.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was just like, it was so meta, right? And I like when meta media is done well, I like lap that shit up.
Oh yeah.
And like this is like as meta as you could have made it for a medium that I love the most.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's for me like pure enjoyment. This was like an easy S tier. This was like one of my favorite anime of 2017, I think.
Right.
Like this is like I will say that Made in Abyss was a better show.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed Recreators.
But he loves isekai, bro. He's an isekai man. I am going to put it on S tier though, just because like as a show, just in general, I thought something was missing. But if you compare it to like isekais and like everything else on this list, I'd say it's on an S tier. All right, next up, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I actually didn't finish it.
How far did you get?
I got maybe 10 episodes in.
Right.
I know I didn't get halfway.
Right. So for me, Slime, I'm gonna be that person and be like, the manga was so much fun. For me, I mean, like the anime just was kind of just very vapid. It had a really strong start, and then it kind of the problem was it just kind of speed ran a lot of things. When I read the manga, I thought that the anime was going to end at where it hit the halfway point. So when the anime got to episode 12, that's where I thought it would end at 24 episodes. So that was like the pace that really surprised me. So I much more rate the manga than I do the anime. If we're talking purely the anime, I'd say like B tier.
B? Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. ReZero.
ReZero.
I mean, I really enjoyed it. First 3 episodes, kind of forgettable.
Right.
But after that, I don't know, I really liked it. The ending was a little meh for me, though.
Yeah, so here's what, because this is going to be a discussion of whether this is going to be S tier or A tier.
Yeah.
I don't think it can be anything else.
No.
But here's what stops me from putting it at S tier. Okay. Season 1 only, right?
Yeah.
Because you finish watching it, and I remember thinking to myself, I had a really fun time. But what was the point? What was the point of everything that happened?
We've had this discussion at a point.
Yeah, we have, right? Where my biggest problem with ReZero is that things just happened to Subaru, and there wasn't really like an end goal, or like there wasn't really a driving force. And I feel like season 2 will definitely fix that for me, because from what I've seen and what I've heard, it's really going to explore what I think was missing in season 1.
Yeah, I've read a little bit after where the anime ends in the light novel, and definitely the plot does start to thicken a lot
Yeah.
more when it comes to like Subaru's purpose in the world.
Yeah.
But definitely, season 1 for me was just like suffer porn for the sake of suffer porn.
Yeah.
It was just like, let's see how much we can suffer.
Yeah.
And let's see how much we can take away this man's humanity before he just finally snaps.
Exactly.
But
so, like, for me, it's an A tier because I do think it has room to grow, and I really do hope it does grow in season 2.
I hope so too. I really hope they nail it, but I'll agree with the A tier.
Yeah.
We'll put that up there. All right, next up, Rising of the Shield Hero.
What did you think of this? Did you watch this?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I enjoyed the first half, as did a lot of people did, I think. And then the second half, it kind of got slowish until like the last couple of episodes was just like beach episode for the sake of beach episode. I'm like, cool.
I think my biggest problem with Shield Hero was that you watched it for like the one scene that you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
You know, you watched it for like, oh man, these guys are gonna get what's coming to them.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And then it happens, and you're just kind of like, everything else is just kind of air.
Yeah.
Like, and also, like, my other problem with it was that you're cheering for Naofumi, but you're cheering for him because everyone else is a fucking idiot.
Yeah. That's the one thing I did not like about the show. Everybody sucked.
Yeah. Like, everyone just sucks, and I wouldn't really call it good writing because it's like you either cheer for Naofumi or like the bar is so low for every other character that who the fuck are you gonna cheer for? Kirito, the sword hero, who's even worse than Kirito. The Chad Spears hero, like I don't know, like
I don't know. I kind of like the chat. I was like, man, this guy's so alpha. I love him
because they're like him and Naughty were just Team Rocket. You know, they were just Team Rocket. You couldn't take them seriously at all. I'm thinking C tier.
C? Alright, we'll put it in C.
Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for that one scene, and then it didn't really do anything else for me apart from that one scene.
I just liked Raftalia. She was cute.
Raftalia was cute.
Yeah.
It's a solid isekai, solid one.
Alright.
Yoko Senki.
Yeah, Yojo Senki. Saga of Tanya of Evil, I think it's called in English.
Yes.
I wasn't a huge fan.
You weren't a huge fan?
I wasn't a huge... I know there's a lot of people who liked it. One problem I found was just like, there wasn't really like this, because it was all about Tanya getting his/her revenge on like the god of the world.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But the thing is that like the progression of Tanya getting stronger to get closer to God just felt really forced.
Right.
Like it didn't feel like Tanya was getting what she deserved from all of the shit that she was going through in the world.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like, oh yeah, because she used to be this like super elite businessman in the real world, so he just knows everything about everything, even like military tactics from like hundreds of years ago. Yeah, that's in his brain. I'm just like, no, come on. Like, so where are we thinking? I'm thinking C maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking C, B tier.
Yeah,
probably C tier. I enjoyed
C
it
tier.
less than Slime and Overlord.
Okay, we'll put C tier. All right, here's another one you don't think of when you think isekai: Spirited Away.
That's definitely an isekai.
That's a straight up isekai.
I mean, I've said this before, so I don't really enjoy Ghibli movies that much.
Oh shit! Dislike.
That's the bombshell that I'm just gonna drop here, even though it's not got anything to do with isekai.
Gigguk loves isekai, hates
But
Ghibli.
I'm not gonna really open that Pandora's box. I did enjoy Spirited Away.
Right.
In terms of like, it's one of my favorite Ghibli movies, but that's really not difficult for me. So I mean, it's like, it is a very good movie. It's like an S tier for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I can put this any, like, if I put this at S tier and I put it below something like Recreators.
I mean, to be fair, it's like I love Spirited Away too, and I'm quite fond of Ghibli myself, but it's not my favorite Ghibli movie. I know a lot of people say it's their favorite Ghibli movie.
Yeah.
My favorite Ghibli movie was Princess Mononoke, just because I just love that narrative and world so much more than Spirited Away.
I mean, I would put it at S
At an
tier.
S, okay,
Yeah.
We're not that jaded, guys. Don't worry. We think Spirited Away is a good film. All right, everyone's favorite, Sword Art Online.
I can't wait for this one. Joey, what do you think of Sword Art Online?
I don't like it. I really don't. And it's like, I don't know, like everyone first of all, everyone memes the fuck out of the fact that when I used to write reviews on my website before YouTube, I gave this a 9 out of 10.
Oh boy.
But to be fair, that was before the Alfheim Online arc, which changed everything, right?
Right.
Because to be fair, the first half, right, the Aincrad arc, I actually thought was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Pretty decent. The first episode, I'll always say this on record, the first and second episode of SAO is really good. It's really good at presenting a premise. It's really good at setting the tone of the world and the stakes at hand.
Yeah.
And it's really good at not only like showing us that, okay, Kirito is a lone wolf in the pack, but also, you know, how far he's willing to go to prove his point.
Yeah.
Right? The problem is everything after that, that illusion just gets crumbled.
Yeah.
With the introduction of like Asuna, who I think is one of the most decent characters in the show.
Right.
But just ruins the whole like dark tone that the show could have had.
Yeah.
And then when you get to shit like Yui, and I'm just like, why? You just ruined everything for me with that.
Are we just talking about the first season, or are we talking like SAO as the franchise?
I mean, just as a franchise.
As a franchise, okay. I have really been enjoying the new season of SAO, Alicization, and it's weird because it's gotten to the point where everyone who's like doesn't enjoy SAO just doesn't watch it anymore, which is fine. And if you like have found some enjoyment in SAO like me, then you've just continued watching it. And Alicization feels like what the Aincrad arc should have been, because the reason why I will defend Alicization is because we all thought at one point, don't lie, that SAO had a cool concept.
Yeah,
right? There was a point when you're like, this is a cool concept.
Yeah, of course.
And for me, that's Alicization has taken what Aincrad should have been, and it's actually like gone through with it. So like, it's the first half of Alicization is basically like a boss rush. It's a boss rush. It's a boss rush anime where they have to like climb 100 floors, and every episode is just them taking on a new boss. No filler bullshit. It's just them taking on a new boss.
Okay.
And it's just good popcorn entertainment.
Right.
And then in the second half, which is where we're at now, Kirito gets out of commission, so like other characters take on the main role,
right?
And it's just like a war arc, and it's a really cool concept for isekai, because it takes this whole idea of like a virtual world with like NPCs and everything, and actually makes the NPCs proper characters, and it is as good as trashy isekai can be, in my opinion.
I think, though, my favourite part of SAO was Gun Online Alternative.
I knew you would say that.
The one that wasn't written by Kawahara.
I knew you would say that.
I mean, it is, though, is it not? Like, it is what SAO could have been if it was written by a better writer.
As a whole, I would put the genre middle of the road for me. This is, yeah. I mean, I would put like Alicization higher, but for me, SAO is what I look to when judging every other isekai.
The benchmark of isekai.
It is the benchmark of isekai.
All right, but with that out of the way, we're going on to the final isekai. And technically, this is an isekai. Familiar of Zero.
Zero no Tsukaima.
Zero no Tsukaima. This is a throwback.
Oh, this is a throwback.
It's a throwback to the golden age, dude.
Teenage me this lap.
Teenage us would be like S tier.
Yeah. Teenage me would be like, man, it's an isekai, it's got a tsundere. Hey, easy S tier. Easy S tier.
I mean, this and Toradora, I feel like really like pushed the whole tsundere thing. Like,
it's this Toradora and Shakugan no Shana.
Shakugan no Shana.
Yeah.
Which all of them are voiced by the same fucking woman. Kugimiya. Holy shit. I mean, I really enjoyed Zero no Tsukaima back in the day.
I did.
But then again, I haven't rewatched it, so I don't know how well or badly it's aged.
From what I remember, it is the most generic thing I can think of.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because I'm just looking at Zero no Tsukaima, and I'm like, man, how many of these other shows would Teenage Me like? And Teenage Me would probably like most of the D, E, and F tiers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking maybe like a D tier.
I'm thinking a D tier as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking D. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if we rewatched it, we'd think differently. Maybe it'd be higher, maybe it'd be lower. I don't know. From what I remember about the show, I was like, yeah, okay, that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Kugimiya, but alright, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it for what it is. Alright, but there you have it, guys. That is the ultimate isekai anime tier list. Have a good look at it, because this is from now on what you are going to be basing your tastes upon. There is no exceptions.
Let me tell you what people are going to see with this. And it's exactly how I described it. They're gonna look at SAO, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna judge it based on where SAO is. It's exactly, people are gonna be like, you put Tanya of Evil and Shield Hero at the same tier as SAO, trash list.
No, they're gonna look at this. My audience is gonna look at this and be like, Joe, you talk so much shit about SAO. You think it's better than Inuyasha and Zero Tsukaima. It's like, what the fuck is that? We're never believing a word of you ever again. But yeah, I don't know. Like this was pretty difficult to put together, but I'm pretty happy.
I'm pretty happy with it.
There. Yeah. But anyways, guys, let us know what you guys think about our terrible tastes and selections down in the comments below. I've also left the link to this tier list down in the description below, so you guys can fill in your own tier list, and I guess send it to me or Garnt over on our Twitters, and just remind us how bad of a taste we have when it comes to isekai shows.
If you're gonna blame anyone, blame me. I've definitely trashified this tier list with my taste.
I like to think this is a joint effort. I like to think it's a joint effort. I mean, I can definitely tell you just from looking at the E and F tiers that, like, not a huge fan of modern isekai. Not a huge fan.
Yeah.
So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure to go check out your boy Garnt. Links to his channel down in the description below. Like favorite if you enjoy, subscribe for any banter. Keep watching anime. Jane!